The next morning, Elomox woke up to silence. No alarm. No rush. Just that heavy feeling in his chest that comes when your body is awake, but your mind is already tired. He checked his phone. A notification from his bank app popped up. His delivery earnings from the night before had dropped. It wasn't a lot, but it was enough to breathe a little. Enough to say, okay, today won't end badly. He sat on the edge of his bed and did the same thing he had been doing every morning lately. Mental calculations. Rent. Utilities. Transport. Food. Still tight. But manageable for now. He got ready and stepped outside. The air felt different that morning. Cold but calm. The bus arrived on time for once. He sat by the window watching the city wake up. For the first time in days, Elomox felt a small sense of hope. At work, something unexpected happened. His supervisor called him aside. Not loudly. Not angrily. Just quietly. Elomox's heart started racing. He already knew how these conversations usually went. But this time was different. The supervisor told him the store would be cutting hours. Not because Elomox did anything wrong. Not because of lateness. Just business. Less hours meant less pay. Elomox nodded, said he understood, and went back to work like nothing happened. But inside something shifted. After work, he sat on a bench outside the store, staring at his phone. He opened the delivery app again, but his body felt heavy. Then another message came in. From his landlord. Please confirm when you'll be able to pay full rent. That word, full asterisk, hit him hard. He typed a reply. Deleted it. Typed again. Deleted again. Eventually, he sent a short message asking for a few more days. No reply. That evening, Elomox made a decision. He wouldn't rent a car again. The cost was too much. Instead, he rented a delivery bike. Cheaper, slower, but manageable. The ride was harder than he expected. Cold wind. Long distances. Heavy backpack. Some customers were kind. Some ignored him completely. One tipped him generously, and he stood there for a moment, shocked, whispering thank you, even though the person was already gone. By the time he got home, his legs were burning. But he felt something new. Control. The next morning, another turning point Elomox woke up to a call. A number he didn't recognize. It was his landlord. His heart dropped. The landlord spoke calmly but firmly. Rent had to be paid soon. No extensions beyond a few days. After the call, Elomox sat quietly. No panic. No tears. Just reality. Later that day, while scrolling aimlessly, he saw a post in a local community group. Someone was looking for overnight warehouse workers. Short term. Hard work. Decent pay. Elomox stared at the screen. Another job meant less sleep. More stress. More exhaustion. But it also meant survival. He applied. That night, lying in bed, his phone buzzed. Can you start tomorrow night? Elomox closed his eyes and exhaled slowly. This wasn't the life he imagined. But it was the life he had. And in that moment, he made peace with one truth. Sometimes progress doesn't look like success. Sometimes it looks like choosing to keep going, again and again. Elomox started the warehouse job the very next night. No long orientation. No warm welcome. Just a reflective vest, a quick explanation, and work. The warehouse was cold. Loud. Constant movement. Conveyors running, machines humming, people walking fast like time was chasing them. Elomox worked overnight, lifting boxes, scanning labels, moving from one section to another. His body protested at first. His legs were still sore from the delivery bike. His eyes felt heavy. But he kept going. Every hour he told himself just one more. By morning he was exhausted, but something else was there too. Relief. When the shift ended, he checked his phone and saw the pay rate again. He did the math quietly in his head. For the first time in weeks, the numbers made sense. That morning, instead of rushing to sleep, Elomox stopped by a small diner near the bus stop. Nothing fancy. Just eggs, toast, and coffee. He sat alone, eating slowly, watching people go to work. And he smiled. It wasn't happiness. It was stability. Over the next few weeks, Elomox settled into a rhythm. Day job. Short rest. Overnight warehouse shift. Hard. Yes. But predictable. One evening at the warehouse, something small, but important, happened. A supervisor noticed him. Noticed that he showed up early. That he didn't complain. That he helped others when the workload got heavy. The supervisor asked him a simple question. Are you looking for more consistent hours? Elomox didn't hesitate. Yes. A few days later, his schedule was adjusted. Slightly better hours. Same pay. Less chaos. That change alone made life easier. Then came the moment that really mattered. Rent day. Elomox stood in his room, phone in hand, staring at his bank app. He transferred the money and waited. Payment successful. No late fee. No begging. No stress message afterward. His landlord replied later that day with a simple message. Received. Thank you. Elomox sat on his bed for a long time after that. Quiet. Not because he was tired, but because he was proud. That weekend something else happened. At the warehouse, one of his co-workers invited him to sit with them during break. They talked about life, jobs, where they were from. Different accents. Different stories. Same struggle. Elomox realized he wasn't alone. Everyone there was carrying something. Later that night, his sister called again. Same question as before. How are you doing? This time, Elomox didn't lie. He didn't exaggerate either. He said, it's still hard, but it's getting better. And he meant it. That night, as he walked home under the streetlights, Elomox thought about how far he'd come. Not in years, not in dreams, but in weeks. No miracle. No sudden success. Just small wins. And sometimes that's all you need to keep going. Life became calmer for Elomox. Not easy, but calmer. Bills were getting paid. Rent was no longer a threat. His routine, though tiring, made sense. Day job. Short rest. Warehouse nights. He stopped waking up in panic. Stopped checking his bank balance every hour. Comfort had arrived quietly. One evening at the warehouse, Elomox was called into a small office. Nothing serious, just a conversation. The supervisor told him there was an opening coming up. A full-time position. Better pay. Benefits. More stability. But there was a catch. It required switching to a different shift. Longer hours, more responsibility, and less flexibility. It meant committing fully. No more balancing multiple jobs the same way. The supervisor told him to think about it. That night, Elomox couldn't sleep. The full-time job meant security. Predictable income. Less fear. But it also meant staying exactly where he was. He thought about why he came to the US in the first place. The dreams he once had. The version of himself that wanted more than survival. The next morning, another opportunity appeared. At his day job, a coworker mentioned a training program, a short course that could lead to a better role. Higher pay. Different environment. But it required time, focus, and a small financial risk. No guarantee. That was the moment. Comfort, or growth. That evening, Elomox sat alone in his room looking around. The same walls that once felt heavy now felt safe. He realized something important. Comfort can feel like success when you've struggled for too long. But growth always asks for courage. The next day he made his choice. He thanked the warehouse supervisor, but declined the full-time offer. Not because it was bad, but because he didn't want to stop believing in something better. He enrolled in the training program, adjusted his schedule, tightened his budget again, but this time with purpose. Months later, life looked different. Not perfect, not easy, but better. And Elomox understood something many people learn the hard way. Surviving teaches you strength, but choosing growth, that's what changes your life. And sometimes the bravest thing you can do is say no to comfort.